Apex Raceway, and Josh Herrin was nice enough to rent the facility and bring his buddies out. I think they're mostly buddies from the gym, and then some industry folks like Alpine Star. And everybody got the opportunity to ride Ohvales and supermoto bikes and all kinds of different, and R3s, all kinds of stuff. So first of all, thanks for having us out, and it turned out to be a pretty good day. It looked like everybody had a good time.
Yeah, it was sick. I'm like you said, it kind of got brought up just by training with buddies at the gym. So there's some guys that play football, and both of them said that they like riding. So I'm like, well, dang, why don't we, come out and ride on a track instead of just they like riding on the streets or out in the desert kind of thing, like just doing wheelies and stuff. And so we talked him into coming out here, and my trainer Joe wanted to come out and try it out too. And I was like, man, I'm not gonna just rent the track and then us three just ride. I was like, it'd be cool to have Alpine Stars come out and give them some leathers, and Arai come out and hook them up with helmets. Cardo brought out like some of their headsets so we could communicate with each other, and I could kind of coach them a little bit. And it was good for us making a video. And Super 73 came out, brought some bicycles for them to kind of like learn the track on before like actually riding a motorcycle on it, because it's their first time. So it worked out good because we could kind of go out and just pedal and kind of look at it. And the dudes loved it. Mike was like kind of worried at first, which is, I wasn't expecting anything. I was like, I don't know if they could even use a clutch, whatever. Mike was worried. He's like, I'm gonna wait for KB. KB got there and then Mike went out. But right before that, I put him on the back of the R3 and we did 2-up with a 6'4", 260-pound dude, wide receiver. That was pretty gnarly. And I didn't have my left passenger peg on. I took it off and I forgot at home. So we only had the right one. So he wrapped his left leg around me. So we were moving all around like crazy. But it was a good time. The whole point was just to try and get people into the sport. Like I've done this a few times in the last couple of years, just trying to get new people involved. Maybe they don't, I'm not trying to bring them on board to like sponsor it or anything like that, but just show people that it's a good time and it's fun to watch. And when you know somebody, it's even more exciting. And I think we accomplished that today. They both had a ton of fun. Now KB said I could come to a game because he just got traded to the Steelers.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll go. Hopefully the Steelers are playing when we go to Pittsburgh, and he's going to try and come out the Saturday before. Mike Williams plays for the Chargers, so hopefully we can get him up to Laguna or something like that. And it's just cool. I just like showing not only people the sport, but also influential people, so that if they like it, they can try and help us grow the sport a little bit without having to spend any money. They just make a post that they enjoyed riding, and then we get a few thousand more eyes on the sport. And lucky I got a bunch of cool sponsors that wanted to come out and help out and make sure they were protected. So Mike kept wanting to ride with no gloves because he's just used to riding with no gloves. Both of them, like when they rode in the past, they didn't wear helmets or gear or anything. Right. So it was like a struggle to get them in it. But KB got the gear on and he was like, man, I want to crash. Like, This is nice. I feel like I can't get hurt in this stuff. So it was just a cool day, and just seeing them pumped on riding motorcycles was cool.
Well, let's back up a little bit to Road Atlanta. We just had our opening round 2 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
2 third-place finishes. I think probably, even though you know that things could have been a lot worse, you're probably really happy with how they turned out, all things considered, because I don't think you were totally prepared as far as having the bike the way you wanted to feel.
Yeah, I'm like, of course, like in the moment, I'm disappointed because I don't want to finish third and I don't want to be that far behind. Just because I know I can do better and I know the bike's capable of doing better, so I want to be there. But when I, rest for a second and think about the race, I was really happy about it because, like you said, going into the race, I was expecting, man, if I could just finish fifth, I'll be happy. If I get on podium, I'm gonna be ecstatic. So we were able to get on the podium, and looking back at it, I'm super pumped because we're now second in the championship, and we have nothing but positive energy to build on, and hopefully do better at VIR. VIR is one of my favorite tracks, and I kind of like Atlanta. We get a lot of family and friends that show up there, and just gonna go and try and have fun. It's my birthday weekend, and just want to kind of relax and not stress so much about everything going on with the bike, and just have some fun. Richard's got some good directions that he wants to go with the bike now. We went back to the shop because I'm in Costa Mesa, he's in Huntington, so we're only 10 minutes away from each other. So I went back to the shop and we looked at data from the years past, from not from Cam last year because we didn't race there, but JD and myself, and just realized some things that I was doing on the 18 bike and what Richard was doing, the traction control, that kind of made me feel a little more confident having more TC to lean on and hear it. And Cameron was kind of the opposite. The bike wasn't very noisy with TC, which obviously it worked, but I feel like I need to hear that to be able to trust it. So we're going to rely heavily on the TC at VIR to try and help me mentally just be able to get used to sliding the thing again. Because the last 2 years on the Suzuki and the BMW, I wasn't comfortable sliding the bike, so I was always worried about letting it step out. Where now the R1 is kind of like, I know from riding in the past, you ride it like that. But we were also trying to go the other direction where we weren't wasting the tire as much, so use more TC. And we just need to get back to that spot. We need to get back to the spot where I'm comfortable sliding and able to kind of like hang it loose. You watch Gagne ride and he's just on the edge the whole, or he's in control, but he looks like he's on the edge the whole time. And I watched from behind and he's sliding like I did in the past and just hanging off the thing. And I want to get back to where I was in 18. I told Richard, I know the bikes are a little bit different, different swing arms, different things on the bikes, but if we can get it to feel like it did in 18, I know we can be there because the bike wasn't as good then. And if we can just get that feeling back, I'll be comfortable enough to be up there fighting. So that's what we're hoping for.
And once you find that magic spot, from there, it's just little changes, right?
Yeah, for sure. For me, especially, like I feel like a lot of riders are good at kind of riding through the problems. And I am when it comes to the race, but when we're practicing or testing, I'm bad about that. Unless I'm comfortable, I just can't push to get to my pace. So that's what I'm really looking for, is just to find that spot where I can let the thing hang loose and slide and have fun with it. Wheelie it a little bit, slide a little, and just get in that zone where I'm like enjoying myself. And then I think it'll start clicking a little bit easier, actually a lot easier. Richard will even tell you, in the years past, I've gotten off a bike in testing and not been comfortable. And I'm like, we're screwed. We're not going to do good this year. And then as soon as we find that comfy spot, we win 8 races in a row and feel really good. But it takes that for me. I'm a little bit, the older I get, I feel like I'm a little bit like Ben Boschem was. A lot of people would say like he needed the thing to be perfect how he wanted it. And I think I'm a little bit like that, but my window is a little bit wider. Like once I find it, we're good and it can move a little, but it needs to kind of stay in that area. Once I get there, I think it'll just help me have fun and that'll help me do good.